What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review, the show where we talk about the books we read in the previous week, except we're 1 week behind. This is episode 539. This is for books released on October 22nd, 2025, as we fight to catch up, because October 29th's books have already been released, and we are slowly going into the next week's books. We're already in November.
And then diving into November.
Yes. I really hope we catch up soon, but I'm so happy that we've done a month of consistent reviews so far, and we are continuing to move forward with the reviews. So stick with us. We will catch up very soon. I will mention something at the end of this video. I do have a small announcement I'm going to be making because we're not doing really anything other than the reviews right now. The hauls and stuff like that will be coming soon. I did actually get our books from September. I'll probably do a September haul soon as well. I'm already getting into announcements I should wait for the end for. So anyway, this week's books, we're starting with Mike's book, which is Sonic the Hedgehog, Chaotix.
Chaotix 30th anniversary. This is just a one-shot. So for those of you who are Team Chaotix fans, who know, it's Vector the Crocodile, SBO the Chameleon, and Charmy Bee. Basically, just to sum up the book, Amy is trying to show Sonic everything in a museum, and then we get to Team Chaotix. They come in and they talk about a certain investigation that they were doing because they're investigators. Like, you got Vector coming in saying his point of view of the investigation, stops halfway through, and then you got SBO and Charmy that chime in with their thing. And poor Amy, she's trying to show Sonic all the stuff in the museum, and he keeps getting distracted by saying, "Oh, I want to hear more stories from the Team Chaotix and everything." And it was a real fun book. I really enjoyed this comic book, and like I said, for those of you who are Team Chaotix fans and Sonic readers, you'll definitely want to pick up this book and read it for yourself.
VR Troopers issue number 2. I was interested in this book from Boom Studios because we've got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, or Power Rangers Prime, that's out now, which is the new ongoing, but Power Rangers Prime is apparently crossing over with VR Troopers. I'm a little behind on Power Rangers Prime, so I jumped into VR Troopers because there's only 2 issues in. You had the intro issue for issue number 1, and now this issue, one of the VR Troopers strikes off on their own. I'm not going to say which of the VR Troopers, but one of them strikes off on their own and ends up getting caught by the end of the issue, and now it's going to be up to the other 2 to rescue them. And I will say, I do like the artwork in the book. I do have an interest in this story. It reminds me, now you remember, we had like Beetleborg, the Big Bad Beetleborgs, we had VR Troopers, we had Superhuman Samurai Fighting Squad, and we had Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills, which was kind of on, that one was kind of on the border of like teenagers more than for kids. But we had all those things back in the 90s. And I give Boom Studios credit for trying to grab that part of the world. Because, I mean, if you remember, we have Image, which has G.I. Joe, right, and Transformers. That is part of the 80s. And then you got Dark Horse, which has the He-Man stuff. That's also the 80s. Right. So I understand where Boom Studios is going with VR Troopers, Power Rangers. They're trying to grab all of the kid shows from back in the 90s that were, well, obviously Power Rangers is super popular. VR Troopers was one of the ones that was like in between Power Rangers and Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills. The Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters were very, that was a one and done season, and no one ever talks about it except for, do you remember this show from back in the 90s that lasted 1 season? Yes. Going back to Power Rangers, which is still going on to this day. So VR Troopers is somewhere in the middle, more closer to Power Rangers. So Boom Studios took a risk with this series, and I like it so far. I like the second issue. I'm wondering if we might see some of these other properties in the future. Maybe, possibly. It was a good second issue. I would say definitely give it a shot.
Alright, now this one I think is a one-shot because I saw
no.
No. Alright, well,
it's going to be...
I saw the end instead of to be continued. But anyway, this says the Terminator Metal issue number 1. I want to give that a shot because I do love the Terminator series. And basically the robot that you see here, he goes by the name of Vex. And Vex is basically trying to save the person who's working with him against the robot invasion that's going on in the city. Amos in this story is a real jerk. Like, he was, like, saying, like, oh, you're working with him? Like, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be working with him, this, and that. And he is actually trying to, save them and everything, from all this destruction that's going on. But here is the twist in the end of this story. Vix betrays the guy who was helping him because he's, like, saying, you have to go out with it on your own, and I just gotta do what I gotta do. So he basically leaves him behind instead of them being lifelong partners. So that was kind of like the irony and twist of the book. But it was a really good issue. I mean, you say there's more than one issue. I mean, if there is going to be another issue, I'll be definitely looking into it. But it was really good, actually. Lots of adventures and robot invasions and stuff. And that's it.
Now, I'm going to be trying to catch up with this. There were 3 Spawn universe books that came out this week. There was Tales of the Gunslinger, which I did briefly skim through. They're in the middle of a story, but it was actually very good from what I've read. I will say that. There was King Spawn, issue number 50. It was a 50th issue celebration, and it was the end of chapter 1, which is good because I could jump in for chapter 2. So King Spawn should be next time. I'm hoping that Tales from the Gunslinger, which is a past Tales, and I missed 1 or 2 physical issues. I have to go back and look at which ones I have and then grab those, or just trade paperback my way up to present, because I did skip a few anyway. When it comes to all of these series, the only series I kept up with was Spawn, Rat City, and Scorned, because Scorned actually had Haunt in it. I reviewed Haunt back in the day when Haunt had his ongoing series. So with all of those, we also have another series called Gunslinger, this is Gunslinger issue number 48. This is Gunslinger Spawn present day, not to be confused with Dark Tales of the Gunslinger, which takes place in his time period. This one is Gunslinger in the nowadays. Again, I'm a little behind when it comes to what's going on in Gunslinger. There also is Spawn that came out, but I'll talk about that in a moment as well. Gunslinger had brought somebody to be protected at some point in the previous issues, and she was taken in by the police, and this issue he is trying to find where she is. And he goes to one of the detectives that knows him, and she mentions that she's going to try to help him. There's a nice little part towards the end of the book where he offers help to someone, an elderly woman who is bedridden, and using his powers he's able to kind of manipulate things. I don't want to say how completely, but it definitely, how do I put it? It gave her something, and in return now she's going to try to offer to help him find this girl that has been taken in. So that's kind of where the issue ends. Artwork in this book's amazing. Artwork in all of the Spawn books is really good. I like this issue. Gunslinger is one of my favorites out of the Spawn line, other than Spawn itself, which this is Spawn issue number 369. I picked the best number to come back on. Al Simmons, There Are People. So just to catch all of you up, because I know I talked about this in a previous review in the past 500 to now. Spawn is the king of hell. There are people that don't like it, so now they are trying to bring Malbolgia back. They're trying to resurrect him, and Al is trying to find these people to stop them from resurrecting Malbolgia, and he's also trying to protect Earth from all of the renegade demons that are out there. And somewhere along the lines, he doesn't have that face anymore. Al actually has, he was healed, so he looks like himself. And I love Spawn. Again, I've been away for so many issues. I feel like I just decided to jump in. As we move forward, I'm sure the series will move on. We'll get into newer arcs, and I'll be able to speak more on all of the Spawn series. My goal is to catch up on all of them, except maybe Rat City. Rat City is something I'm just collecting to have most of the ongoing series from Spawn. There are still other mini-series going on. I believe there's one other ongoing series going on. I give Todd McFarlane huge credit that it went from just Spawn to now all of these different books, but it's going to be way too hard for me to keep up with everything going on in the Spawn universe, plus everything going on in the Independents, plus everything going on in Marvel and DC. So maybe in the distant future, I'll be able to grab and talk about all of these Spawn books or all of the Spawn universe books. But for right now, my goal is to cover Spawn, Gunslinger, Tales of the Gunslinger until that ends, because eventually it's going to end, Scorned, and King Spawn. Like all of the main books in that universe. If other miniseries come out, we'll see. I know there's Sam and Twitch. I didn't even bother reading that series at all. What else is there? There's another miniseries that's ending soon, and then another miniseries that has like 2 or 3 issues in it. So a lot of stuff going on in the Spawn universe. So if you're a fan of Spawn, now is definitely, you know, that universe's time to shine, and for collectors it's a love time. So Speed Race, or Tales, I had to read this because it looked really interesting. Tales from the Road, Two Princes. This is about Racer X, his past, how he became Racer X, and why he went into racing to try to get Speed Racer on his side to selfishly kind of take his place. Because Racer X used to work for, I believe it was like the Mafia or something, but he did some dirty stuff outside when he was growing up, and it cost him something in this book. You have to read it to find out, but I haven't seen anything Speed Racer in a while. I saw this book and I said, I gotta read it. I gotta see what's up in it. I loved it. I thought the artwork was really good. There was another tale at the end with Chim Chim. I really thought this book was really great. I enjoyed it. Now we're gonna move into Marvel.
Yes, and we're going to start off with Radioactive Spider-Man, issue number 1.
Miniseries from Age of Revelation.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give this issue a shot because it is Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is like my favorite superhero. And in Radioactive Spider-Man, in that universe of that, he has basically arms that are growing out of his sides because of the radioactive stuff. And he's trying to find meds with this woman that he's working with, and he tries, well, first of all, with this story, he's trying to stop people who are bringing more meds or something like that onto a ship, so he tries to stop them from bringing it in. And then with him trying to say, I'm trying to save you guys from all the danger and everything, they don't listen to him, and of course, a whole bunch of other things happen. And, I mean, the artwork was okay. I'm not saying, like, it was good or bad. Like, it was, like, in the middle okay, but the story was also, a little okay as well, because like I said, you know, I'm not used to, you know, with the with the arms that are coming out of his sides, but radioactive, it says in the story, it says in the story of why he has that, so that kind of gives me an understanding of why Spider-Man was like he was. But it was a really good issue, though. I would say definitely give this issue a shot if you're a Spider-Man fan, and we'll see how it progresses more with his story of that.
Speaking of Spider-Man and alternate universes, Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 22. Just a real a quick, for you especially, because I know you haven't been around for a while, Michael. So, the Ultimate Universe obviously is back. The maker, who is Ultimate Reed Richards, who was originally in the Marvel 616, he survived the ultimatum, you know, when the Ultimate Universe went away. You were there for that.
I was, yes.
So, the maker found a way to go back in time in the Ultimate and find the Ultimate Universe, and he changed the fate of all of the Ultimate Universe superheroes. So Spider-Man didn't come into being because he stopped the spider from biting him. Other superheroes didn't come into who they were because he basically involved himself in the past enough to manipulate it to make him the supreme leader of the Ultimate world.
So basically saying he went to the past to change the future,
right, into his favor,
or change the
to
past.
mold the world into something that he wanted. And then there was the first event basically had him locked away for 2 years.
Wait, how was he able to go back in time?
He's the maker. He can do that. So they lock him away along with a few other people, and now the Ultimate Universe, Tony Stark, who now became, I believe, Iron Lad instead of Iron Man because his father was Iron Man.
Right.
So now Iron Man, who found out all this, is trying to get all of the superheroes back or set them, you know, on the path that they were supposed to be on. And with Spider-Man, now Peter didn't get his abilities until he was in his 30s. He has a beard, he has a family, he's married to Mary Jane, he has 2 kids. Right. He's married to Mary Jane, has 2 kids, and then he gets his spider powers, and a lot of stuff happens, you know, in the last 22 issues, a lot of things happen.
So you could kind of say this is like a what if?
No, this is the Ultimate Universe. This is what
No, but I'm just saying, like...
This isn't a what if. This is going on in the Ultimate Universe right now. And they're fighting to stop the Maker, and I think they're trying to... I don't know what the Ultimates plan is, because the Ultimates is not a book I liked at all after a while. I don't know why they're writing it the way they are, but Ultimates and Ultimate X-Men, it's just not my type, not my cup of tea. But I am reading Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate Wolverine. Black Panther never was a character I was interested in reading, so I'm skipping Black Panther as well. But Spider-Man, somewhere along the lines, his son got the Venom symbiote. And in this issue, Doc Ock Superior Spider-Man is part of the Spider-Man family as well now. So we've got Superior Spider-Man working with Spider-Man and his family. We've got his son who is, using the symbiote suit. And Harry is the Green Goblin who works with Pete but also is hiding some dark secret.
Hobgoblin.
No, he's a Green Goblin.
Oh, he's a Green Goblin.
And he's hiding a secret behind Pete's back that Pete doesn't know about. And what's going on is, so there's a lot of behind backs going on. Yeah. So Pete's son gets put on a mission by Doc Ock, who doesn't want Pete to know about it. And Doc Ock's always getting his Pete's son in trouble.
Of course.
You've got Harry, who's working with somebody, and Pete doesn't know about that. And there's this big betrayal, it looks like, is being set up. Pete and his family are living where the Mole Man and the Mole people are. That's where they're hiding out and living because they know the Maker's coming soon. And a bunch of stuff happened in the previous 21 issues that have them there now. And you still got Pete being Spider-Man, Doc Ock being Superior Spider-Man. It's a really good book. And then
Pete's... Sounds like a lot happened in this book.
Oh, yeah. Pete's son actually works with Black Cat. And Black Cat's a different character as well in this universe. It's so good. This issue is... I really would love to go back and review the previous couple of arcs.
Wait, is Black Cat younger or older?
Younger.
Oh, she is
Younger-ish, I believe. But I would love to go back and review this entire series from the start. I know that I did cover a couple of issues in between 500 to 500 and now, 539. But highly recommend it. It is my absolute favorite series out of all of the Ultimate books. For multiple reasons.
Well, yeah.
But absolutely great read. I highly recommend this book. Moon Knight, The Fist of Khonshu, issue number 13. I love Moon Knight. This issue is all about Mark and his ex-girlfriend, who is also is possessed by one of the gods of Egypt, and they are teaming up to find out why certain dead souls are being trapped and used and imprisoned on Earth. So they're trying to free these souls that are being imprisoned and find out who's doing it and stop them because more souls will get locked up. And all the while you're getting like this big background story about how they're still both in love with each other, but they're not the same people anymore because one is Moon Knight and the other is, I can't remember the stupid name of it for some reason, something Scarab, the Sacred Scarab or something. And it's kind of sad because she tells that to Mark's Moon Knight, and he kind of is like, yeah, you know what, you're right, and you could feel the kind of like heartache between the two of them. We also get a little guest appearance by somebody in the Doctor Strange family. Really good book, great artwork, really good story. I'm hoping when this ends, if it ever ends, or if it's considered a maxi series or whatever, we get Moon Knight back. I love Moon Knight for many reasons. Moon Knight's one of my favorite characters and one of the only Marvel series on Disney Plus that I enjoyed watching from start to finish. I would love to review episodes maybe one day, going one episode at a time, but excellent character, excellent series. I would definitely say check out Fist of Khonshu.
Okay, so this one is a Marvel, a Red Band book, and this is explicit content. So
that's what Red Band means. You don't have to worry about explaining that.
Well, I just want to explain it. Yeah, The Punisher, issue number 2. So in this issue, we have Frank Castle, who goes out and does his thing about a mission, whereas Kingpin is in this issue also, and he is trying to send somebody out to kill Frank Castle, where he's also torturing people as well to make the city or heal the city or whatever that is. And as this person is trying to kill him, he just keeps coming back. I mean, this guy is...
Classic Punisher.
I mean, this guy is badass, the Punisher. I mean, like, every time he's, like, saying, like, but you're not dying, why won't you die? And he comes back, like, saying, do you not see the skull on my chest? You can't kill me, you know, and all that stuff. But I don't want to give too much away in this book because of, you know, I want you guys to definitely read it because, again, explicit content, which
18 plus.
Yeah, which I don't want to mention what happened, which is why I'm going to skip that part. Other than that, though, really great issue. I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to be more of Frank Castle and the Punisher issue as it continues forward.
I don't really love Fantastic Four issue number 4. I don't particularly love Humberto Ramos's art. It's not my style. It's a style that a lot of people do like. For me personally, I never really was a fan of Humberto Ramos. This issue was a one and done. It's about everybody looking at this new pet that the Fantastic Four took in. And they all think it's this cute little puppy or this cute little thing. And Alicia, who's blind, who can't be hypnotized by this alien animal, sees it and knows it for what it really is because she can't see it, so it can't hypnotize her. And she ends up going on this little journey of helping it find its way home. And I thought it was a really nice book. Again, Humberto Ramos' artwork is not something that I like. However, a lot of people do like. It's a your choice book. I am very happy that I decided to read Fantastic Four. It's a really good series. Fantastic Four, Thor, Captain America also is all these books are starting over with issue number 1s, kind of falling out from the Doom Clock event that's going on. Not Doom Clock, oh god. The State of Doom event that's going on right now. Very interesting though. I'm definitely enjoying it. We haven't had a Fantastic Four series in a hot minute from my knowledge at least. But we're leaving Marvel now and we're going into DC Comics.
Yep, we're going to start off with Green Arrow, issue number 29. So in this issue, we see Green Arrow, who is going on a mission to find out the person who was behind the whole thing with Red Arrow and the killing whatnot. So basically he's trying to find information about someone. But we get a little bit of his backstory where he was actually in the army, you know, drafted into the army and what say. And then we also get another part of the story where we do see Red Arrow and his daughter, who's now working with him, is actually, it's like a father-daughter thing where they help this woman who's trying to get boarded onto an airplane and stuff like that. So I kind of like that father-daughter bonding that they had with each other with the Red Arrow. So I kind of like how they're getting in this book. But going back to Green Arrow's story about him when he was drafted into the army, he bumps into somebody, and I can't remember what his name was, that was saying like, oh, you don't remember me? You trained me in archery and with the arrow that was through my chest and everything. And he's like saying, no way, this can't be you because we worked side by side with each other. And then it ends off where they're going to have a battle with each other, and the whole thing where they left it at a cliffhanger was just genius right there. I mean, I wanted to see the fight, but they left it just right at that part where they were just about to clash with each other. So it was I just can't remember what his name was, but very interesting issue, nonetheless.
Green Lantern issue number 20, is that 8? 28. And I love how they put the legacy numberings on this. So Hal is heading back to Earth after previous stuff that's happened in the book. Gets to spend some time with Carol until there is a distress call, and he's called away to deal with that. And this is going to be going to KO soon, I believe, when it comes to Green Lantern. I read this book first this week because I wasn't sure if it was Hop-On friendly. It is Hop-On friendly. The artwork in the book's really good. The story was really good as well. So the Guardians now there is a Guardian of Oa that is the Guardian for each different lantern. So now we have the blue guys. I don't know how I really should go back and read it. So it used to be that, like, for example, Sinestro was the leader and the creator of the Yellow Lantern Corps. Now there's there is a guardian for each and every one of the Lantern Corps, and Hal sees his name in the book, and in that he gets these flashbacks, and I forget the name of the character, but he tries to impersonate Hal, but he doesn't do it perfectly, and he's going to he wants to destroy the Lanterns, and he has the rest of his knowledge, or the knowledge of the book. And they want to try to stop him, and they have to now stop Hal Jordan as well. And Hal's having these little flashbacks. So I don't know. I thought that Green Lantern was going to go into KO. I could be wrong, but Green Lantern's an excellent book right now. I would definitely say to check out Green Lantern. Now the last two books, I believe, correct? Yeah. The last two books are DC KO tie-ins. We're starting with The Flash, issue number 26, which involves Wally and the events of DC KO issue number 1. So Wally, this is Wally's point of view, and Bart, who is Impulse, he's no longer Kid Flash, he's Impulse, so impulsively, Bart is trying to find a way to stop the events of Darkseid from happening, and ends up accidentally getting blipped out of time, and Wally tries to stop and save him, but Wally and Bart end up in separate they end up getting separated, and Bart ends up in the future that is taken over by Darkseid, and he gets stuck in a position. A lot of this book is Wally talking with the rest of the Flash family about what to do, what's right, what's wrong, and it kind of, like I said, it goes side by side with DCKO, and it's really good. And if you're a Flash fan, you're going to love it. I'm going to read all the tie-ins when it comes to DCKO, unless one of the books of Michael's. I don't think Green Arrow is crossing over.
No, Green Arrow doesn't cross over.
Right. There are going to be a bunch of one-shots that are dropping starting next month. And literally it's going to be around 1 through 8.
Unless it connects to it.
There will be some. You might have to take over one or two of them, because the one-shots I'm not going to be able to cover myself. So the one-shots are going to be, different characters versing one another. And there's 8 rounds. I know there's 8 rounds coming for December, and I think there's 8 rounds coming in January, and it's probably going to continue all the way through until we get to the end of the event. Thank God a lot of the books are connected in books I'm reading. I know Aquaman's going to be connected in soon. But anyway, Superman issue number 31, again, DCKO tie-in. Superman's point of view, side by side with what's going on in KO issue number 1. Except on Superman's side, he's talking with Lois about what's going on. He wants to work with LexCorp because they have a spaceship that they're creating. He wants to work, him and the Justice League want to work with them to build as many as possible, because they're moving the populace of the Earth off Earth before Darkseid attacks to save the human race. So he gets help. He spends some time with his family before the big event happens. Lois, he goes to Jor-El and asks about, if Jor-El knew about any of this, because it involves the past, and Darkseid is part of the past, and Jor-El says there's no knowledge of Darkseid, no knowledge of the Omega King, anything, nothing. And he asked Jor-El, if you could have, would you have saved all of Krypton? And he said yes. And he says, thank you, that's what I needed. He leaves. He ends up leaving to the tournament, and Lois, instead of leaving Earth, decides to make a pit stop at the Fortress of Solitude. Very 1978 Superman-looking fortress now,
good.
Which I approve. I really like that. And somehow, her questioning Jor-El triggers Lara's program to come through and over Jor-El's. And while there is no knowledge, she shares a little bit about why Doomsday was created, because Doomsday is Kryptonian. He was made to be the Alpha Champion, and how there was knowledge, but it was illegal for Krypton to gain knowledge outside of its planet. And she gives Lois a little bit of information. However, spoiler, because I'm going to do it for this book, because it's already been spoiled, because the news have already said it. Superboy Prime shows up, and he's being chased by the Legion of Darkseid's Legion of superheroes, and Sunboy triggers Lois's Superwoman powers. So Lois gets her Superwoman powers back, because Sunboy uses too much of his abilities, and apparently it re-triggers Lois to becoming Superwoman again. And we're going to see what happens in the next issue, but really interesting and really awesome stuff. Superman was definitely my book of the week this week. And with that, we're going to end this video here. Oh, announcement. So, like I was saying before, haul video should be soon. We did get our books from September. So, from October. We got our books from October because we're in November. So I'll be doing our October haul video soon. Hopefully, in the coming year, like I said, we're going to switch back to a weekly haul series. And then go beyond to what originally I wanted to do with the haul series. We've talked about that in previous issues. There is a TikTok channel I created for Dark Avenger Media. I will be making clips of videos in the coming new year. I might start now, can't promise that. However, Dark Avenger Media now has its own TikTok for the shorts I'm going to be doing on YouTube, for exclusive shorts I'll be doing on TikTok, and for also clips from the bigger videos like this to, again, show off these videos on other platforms and, you know, what everybody's trying to do nowadays. Just get as much out there when it comes to the stuff we do here in different ways and on different platforms. So if you want, I will be putting a link to the Dark Avenger TikTok in the list of links below, and I'm going to probably be editing the Chaotic Avenger TikTok to just say Chaotic Blaze now, but let that TikTok focus on my Dark Avenger. Well, no, Dark Avenger Entertainment's still going there. It's going to remain Chaotic Avenger. So Dark Avenger Media is going to be specifically for this channel where it comes to comic book news, reviews, and all that stuff. So again, I'll put the link down below. If you're interested, definitely come check out the channel. There will be content soon when it comes to that. But with that, that's it for this episode, everybody. Till next time, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see all of you really soon in the next episode.
Hey, everyone.